welcome back to my channel where I am planning a novel for the very first time. Longtime pantser, planning, and I'm sharing with you my journey in hopes that it'll help you with your writing process. So far, we're about 2/3 of the way through Preptober and it has been such a ride. I've been focusing mostly on the story grid and Abbie Emmons. There are links below if you want to watch them, but I'm going to deviate a little this time to share with you what I have learned from Gargoyles. Yeah, Gargoyles, 90 cartoon, awesome. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It is hard to find, but there are DVDs and that sort of thing, and they're really, really worth it. There's a few clips around on YouTube as well, and it's definitely worth looking for. I'm mostly going to focus on Xanatos, the primary villain. Now, arguably, Demona is a chief villain, and yes, Demona is pretty cool, but Xanatos is the one I'm focusing on.
It's my first real stab at cliched villainy. How am I doing?
You know what? This is the kind of villain I want to have. Now, when I'm going through Story Grid, they're telling me that if you're going to do any character development, you do it on your antagonist or your shadow character, not your luminary character, your hero, antagonist. Lots of terms for that. And the reason is because as people, we are more interested in the bad guys. Yeah, I said it. It's true. We like to live vicariously through them because they do all the things that we wish we could do, but no, we won't because they would get us in trouble and we don't like trouble. So, so I'm going to start with David Xanatos, sort of Bruce Wayne if Bruce Wayne decided to be the bad guy instead of the good guy. And there is so much to unpack here, so we're gonna stick to the top 3 major things that Abbie tells us to look at: the want, the fear, and the misbelief. So what does Xanatos want?
Xanatos doesn't want to destroy us. He wants to dominate us.
He wants what he wants when he wants it. And this leads me to his misbelief. And Xanatos' misbelief is very clearly stated in the 2nd episode of the series.
Pay a man enough, and he'll walk barefoot into hell.
Yeah, basically, money will buy me anything. Anything I want, money will buy it for me. But he learns quickly that while that might be true of humans, money will not buy him the allegiance of the Gargoyles, which I think you could argue is his chief want. Or at least it's his chief need. It's what he needs. He needs people to support him. Before I get to that, we'll get to his fear. What does Xanatos fear? Now, you could say that perhaps he fears death because it's the only thing he can't buy. And actually, he's accused of this by Hudson.
Growing old terrifies you, doesn't it?
Nothing terrifies me, because nothing is beyond my ability to change.
What you seek demands a heavy price.
Save your breath, Hudson. Death and old age have their price as well, and it's too expensive for me.
But the thing is, he says he doesn't fear anything. Well, everybody fears something. So we know Xanatos is lying there. But later, as I said, we find out later that he has the opportunity to cheat death. And he doesn't take it. Why? Here's the choice he is given by Puck.
The truth is, we made quite a team. I couldn't resist revealing myself to Xanatos and offering him this delightful choice. One wish from the Puck, or a lifetime of service from Owen. He chose Owen.
So Puck, who is, spoilers, also his assistant, he plays 2 roles in the story. He offers him a wish, anything he wants, and presumably he could wish for eternal life, but he doesn't. Instead, he takes a lifetime of servitude from Owen. So why does he do that? Because what he needs, and maybe deep down understands that he wants, is alliance. He wants camaraderie. He wants people who have his back even when he can't pay for it. which is why the gargoyles fascinate him. In the end, he ceases to see himself not just as a rich man, which is how he starts in the beginning, but as a father. And he realizes there's something that money can't buy, and that is the protection of his son from the supernatural forces of Avalon that want to take his son from him.
Of course they're safe, Detective. Goliath just saved the world. More important, he saved my son. The least I can do is reinstate his clan to their ancestral home.
What's the catch, Xanatos?
No catches, no tricks, no strings. The feud is over, Detective. He's waiting for you.
But Goliath saves him. And because Goliath does this, Xanatos, he has a complete change of heart. And he welcomes the gargoyles back without any ulterior motive, without any agenda. He welcomes them back to their home because they stood by him when there was no money on the line. And that taught him the lesson, and that is the beautiful arc of Xanatos. So, why is this helping me? Why is this helping me write my story? Well, other than the fact that this is an awesome villain and a great one to look at, there is actually something on the internet called the Xanatos Gambit. And this is how to write a compelling villain when it comes to motivation. I'll pop that up on the screen just there.
It would appear that your plan to learn the gargoyle's hiding place has gone awry, sir.
Not really. I have the Eye of Odin back in my private collection, and the city owes me a favor for donating it. I successfully tested this prototype battle exoframe, and the most important thing...
Yes, sir?
I was a little worried that I might be getting soft, but I was able to stand up against Goliath, the greatest warrior alive. I'd say I've still got the edge.
I'll play the part of the villain, and you will be the part of the hero in this scenario. You challenge me. I defeat you. I win. Defeat me. Well, I use my MacGuffin to release a dragon or monster or some kind of antagonistic force upon you. And you focus on that, allowing me to get away. I win. Wait, you actually don't focus on that. You focus on me and decide to finish me off instead? Well, I quickly use that MacGuffin to escape. I win. Wait. That actually fails and you kill me? Well, arguably, that sucks. But now the MacGuffin is at large and the power that I was mastering is now free. And you need to defeat that. If you manage to defeat that, then my son takes over the world and I win. However, if you don't manage to defeat that and you are destroyed, my army will come in and defeat it. And then I'm the martyr and you're the villain that destroyed me when I was trying to keep the world safe from the monster. I win no matter what. And this is so compelling as a villain, that he always has a backup plan. And Xanatos, after releasing Theog onto the world, he actually steps back and realizes that Theog would have had a backup plan.
It didn't occur to me till just now, but if I had been in Thalog's shoes, I would have had a contingency plan for escaping that oil rig. I would have known that faking my own death was the optimum means of escaping scot-free with all those millions.
You mean that creature is still out there? It has the money, it's as powerful as Goliath, and it's smarter than you.
Owen, I think I've created a monster.
You see how devious this is? Like, every single Gargoyle episode, maybe bar a couple, ends this way, where the heroes are victorious, but they don't actually win because it's a win-lose, or it's a win-lose-lose. It might be a win-win-lose, but no matter what, the bad guy always got something. Every single time. And it made it for very compelling watching and maybe a little ahead of its time when it comes to storytelling in the mid-90s. But my gosh, I'm so glad that I grew up in a generation where this was on TV because it was just such good storytelling. And again, highly recommend. But basically what I am doing is I'm taking this story from here and applying it to my novel. Now, how am I doing that? Let's go to my story grid and I will show you what I am doing. All right, so I want to use the Xanatos Gambit in my story. Now, I think I could use this as an overall plan for Rory, who is my major antagonist, to action his entire plan, but I want to go more micro than that. So I'm thinking in key scenes where things can pivot one way or another, I want Rory to have multiple plans that whatever outcome, he will still win. So in this case, this is a win-lose situation here. This is the middle build climax when they are discovered. So obviously, if the plan was successful and the wires are cut, plan successful, I win. Yeah. Wires cut, but plan discovered. Police come. This gets Renee to run towards Rory. He wins. Now, that is probably the outcome I'm going to go with, right? So, now, what if the wires aren't cut? So, I want him to have a plan. This might not even make it into my story because I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the outcome. But I want to see how it would play out. So, say the wires aren't cut because the plan is discovered. Renee still will run toward Rory. He wins. I guess this should be he wins. Right? So those are the three possible outcomes from that one plan. And I plan to do this for other key scenes in the book and make sure that Rory has a plan to succeed no matter what. He always wins until, of course, the final climax. I would like him maybe not to win. I don't know. It might be a win-lose situation for poor Rory. Haven't gotten there yet, but this is how I'm using the Xanatos Gambit to plot and develop character at the same time in my story. How I am using the Gargoyles and Xanatos to help make my novel a little bit juicier and tastier, and I'm so excited. Less than 10 days to Nano now, and it's going to be so much fun. Let me know in the comments what you are working on, and if you are taking part in NaNoWriMo, what strategies you are using to plot out your novel, and anything you think that I should be trying that I am not, because this is so new for me, but it's so much fun and so good. Loving it so much. If you like what I'm doing here on my channel, hit the like button, click to the subscribe, and follow along so that we can do this together as a community and support each other as writers on our journey towards being just a little bit better than we were yesterday. I'll see you next time.